Hello and welcome to Toofless Tesla. Please join me on a remarkable drive with plenty of surprising incidents as we visit Kowloon Peak, also known literally as Flying Goose Mountain, although there are definitely no geese up there. We will look at the energy output and regenerative braking figures of my Model S. There will be crowds of people packed on the mountaintop as everyone, including myself, try to get a breather from Hong Kong's COVID restrictions. There will also be surprising wild boar encounters, a weather station, beautiful rolling clouds, a pristine sunset and scenery of Hong Kong. This video is packed full of experiences from one short drive up and down Kowloon Peak. Because there are many interesting incidents, I will also put the relevant timestamps in the video description below. Oh, by the way, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Kowloon Peak is the tallest mountain in Kowloon at 602 meters. For comparison, Victoria Peak on Hong Kong Island is 552 meters or 50 meters shorter. Because of the elevation, I thought it would be good to look at the energy consumption driving up to Kowloon Peak, and then look at the energy gain from regenerative braking coming down Kowloon Peak. Today is Sunday, 13th of March. And Hong Kong is still under tight COVID restrictions, such as no more than 2 people in social gatherings and no dining restaurant services after 6 p.m. All gyms, sports centres, hair salons, bars, beaches are closed, and Hong Kong people are getting restless and want to get away from staying indoors cooped up in their tiny apartments. This is why you will see so many people hiking. It's the only activity people can do without too much interference from the authorities. The authorities can close the beaches, they can close the sports grounds, they can close the restaurants and bars, but they cannot close the hiking trails. You can see many people hiking up to Kowloon Peak. What surprised me was the number of cars and bikes that drive up and park here too. There is even a Mr. Softy ice cream van parked at the top because they know there will be more customers here than in the usual tourist places around Hong Kong, simply because there are no more tourists in Hong Kong. At this time, about 6 p.m, you can catch a nice sunset from Kowloon Peak. There are just hordes of people up here enjoying the fresh air and beautiful sunset. You will see more footage of the sunset and views, especially from the weather station. There are so many cars here already that it is difficult to find a place to park. Fortunately, no cars are behind me, so I can take my time to find a parking spot. Here are the statistics of the drive up. The drive was slower than usual because of the crowds and the congestion. 6% of my battery was used to drive up here in about 20 minutes. Let's check my energy stats after the drive down, which will give back plenty of energy from regen braking. This is Tate's Cairn Meteorological Station on top of Kowloon Peak. I promise this weather station will have a wonderful vantage point. First, we will walk up to the top and then look around. You will see from this weather station a fantastic view of Hong Kong. The distant hilltops you can see is Hong Kong Island, and the tall rise buildings in the foreground are on Kowloon side. It's about 6:30 in the evening and the sun is almost set. You can see that on this day the skies are clear and the air is a little humid. As the sun goes down, the temperature up here at 600 meters above sea level will begin to drop. This temperature drop will force the water vapor in the air to condense into clouds. It's a gorgeous sight just to watch clouds form and then roll over the mountaintops like a magical waterfall. Just watch the clouds rolling and pouring over the mountaintops. The crowds sitting outside and watching the sunset a little earlier will now be completely enveloped. They won't be able to see anything from where they are. They won't know what's come over them. It's actually just fog. Fortunately, we climbed up to the weather station and can see exactly what is happening to the crowds gathered at the lookout point on Kowloon Peak. They are completely enveloped by the fog. Amazing and beautiful, isn't it? And you can see some cars are leaving and they have to turn on their headlights. It's completely foggy now. As we were walking back to the car, I heard some rustling and then saw a hog, or technically a wild pig or boar. It actually came out of the bushes and was foraging for food. I was lucky it was just foraging. If its head was raised higher and it was making its body look bigger and then being aggressive, then it might have charged towards me. Many people feed boars. I don't recommend doing this because it will make boar encounters much more likely, and then there will be problems. Because it is now dusk, there will be more boars coming out and foraging for food. There are no street lights up here and the roads are still narrow and windy, so it is not a good idea to drive fast. I have to watch out at night time. There will be wild boars around then on the road. Oh, there was. There's one other one.
Another one.
Wow. Oh, there was. There's one other one.
Another one.
Wow. So we have to be careful. We don't want wild boars running across you. That's very dangerous. I'm driving about 20 to 25 kilometers per hour, but there are cars behind me and wanting to go faster. I don't want to go faster and will wait for an opportunity to let them pass. Perhaps when these drivers and motorcyclists watch this video or see similar videos of wild boars in the country parks and roads at dusk, they might be more careful and think twice about accelerating fast in the dark. See that? They wanted to go faster, so just let them go. But it's dangerous, just in case of the wild boars. One advantage, I suppose, in this instance is that ice cars and motorbikes are loud and noisy, and so perhaps can get away with speeding in the dark because animals can hear them from a distance. However, with EVs being quiet and emissions free, there is perhaps more danger to wild animals who may not hear EVs until it is too late. I wonder whether this is a significant factor or difference between ice cars and EVs. Do EVs increase the chances of hitting wild animals on dark, quiet roads? I'd be interested to know what you think, so please comment below. Now that I've reached the lower point of Kowloon Peak, let's look at the driving statistics. The distance down was similar at 4 kilometers. Total energy gained is 1.7 kilowatt hours and the average energy generated is 423 watt hours per kilometer. My battery state of charge gained 2% on the way down Kowloon Peak. So overall, the trip up and down Kowloon Peak used 4% of my battery to drive a total distance of 7.9 kilometers. it used 1.7 kilowatt hours at an average of 212 watt hours per kilometer. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching and stay safe.